Here's the numbers behind scaling a martial arts school to $100,000 per month. So if we look at $100,000 per month, we need 500 students paying $200 per month. Now, some of you may look at that and think, hey, well, I don't think I can charge $200 per month for a membership. And to be honest with you, it's just a limiting belief. I've seen martial arts schools from huge cities to small towns charging that price. I'm sure if you look at your demographic, there's at least 500 people in your entire city who are willing to pay that type of price for a high quality service. Now, next is what type of timeline do we want to reach this in? So let's say we want to scale to $100,000 per month in 4 years, right? Well, if you break that down, 500 students divided by 4 years, we basically need 11 students per month. But that's not enough because we also have to factor in students quitting. Right now, let's say on average, you have about 7 students quit per month, from 0 students all the way to 500 students. That means the total amount of students we need to generate per month is 18 students. So just a general overview, $100,000 per month is 500 students paying $200 per month. If we want to scale from 0 to 100,000 per month in 4 years, we need 11 students per month net. If we factor in 7 students canceling per month, we need 18 total students per month. So now we'll go over the numbers behind generating 18 students per month. Let's say you have an ad spend of $1,000. The first number to factor in is your cost per lead. Now, your cost per lead can range depending on your demographic. Some people have a cost per lead of $5, other people have a cost per lead of $75. Right, let's say on average your cost per lead is $20, right? Well, you take $1,000, you divide it by 20, and that leaves you with 50 leads per month. Now, the next metric we look at is your booking percentage, the percentage of your leads who book a complimentary trial class. Now, let's say your booking percentage is 50%. That means you have 25 booked appointments per month. Now, the next metric we look at is your show percentage. What percentage of your booked appointments actually show up? Let's assume 50% of your appointments show up. 50% show rate would be about 12, 13 people showing up. Let's say 12 people show up per month. And then the last metric we need to look at is your closing rate. What percentage of people who show up actually sign up? Again, let's say 50% of people who show up close. Right, that means we'll get 6 students per month. So just breaking down the numbers of how we're going to acquire those students, you spend money on ads, we need to have a good cost per lead, so we generate a sufficient amount of leads every month. From there, we need to book a decent amount of those leads into booked appointments for trials. We need to ensure a decent percentage of them actually show up, and then from there we need to ensure a decent percentage of them actually sign up, and that gives us 6 students. Now, the next number we're going to look at is called your CAC. Your CAC is basically your cost to acquire a customer. So if we take $1,000 ad spend and we divide it by 6, that means our cost to acquire a customer is $166. So now, if we want 18 students per month, there's 2 things we can do. We can try to lower our cost to acquire a customer as much as possible, or simply we can just spend more money on ads, right? Like if we know our average cost to acquire a customer is $166, then you take 166, you times it by 18, and you basically need to spend just shy of $3,000 per month to generate 18 students per month, right? And the point I'm getting at with all of this is we're not leaving it up in the air. We're breaking it down. It's all a numbers game. And you need to make sure you're tracking your numbers and are on track to hitting your goals. So you can increase your ad spend to $3,000 per month, or the other thing you can do over time to generate more students for the same amount of budget is improve your KPIs. So your KPIs meaning your cost per lead, your booking percentage, your show percentage, and your closing percentage. For example, let's say we took our closing percentage from 50% to 75%. Well, that means you take 12, you close 75, that's 9 students per month instead of 6 students per month for every $1,000 you spend, right? So now your cost to acquire a customer, take 1,000 divided by 9 is only $111. Give you guys some more examples just to drive the point. Let's say you take your cost per lead from $20 to even $15, right? Well, now $1,000 ad spend divided by $15 cost per lead is 66 leads per month, right? So 66 leads, 50% book, 50% show, and then let's say you close 75%. Well, now you're getting 12 students a month, double the amount of students from just lowering your cost per lead by $5 and increasing your closing percentage by 25%, which are both pretty realistic improvements. Right, let's say we make a couple more adjustments. Let's say we get our booking percentage to just 10% higher, so 60%. And let's say we get our show percentage to 60%, right? Now we have 66 leads. If 60% book, that's 39 booked. If 60% show, that's 23 who show up. And if 75% close, that's 17 new students for the same amount of ad spend, right? Now, I'll be honest with you, it's not easy to just immediately lower your cost per lead and increase all of these KPIs. It's hard work, right? But if you're willing to put the work in, stay disciplined, and make those incremental improvements day after day, you can get more students for the same amount of money you're putting in. Now, there is going to be a limit, right? No one has consistent 100% booking, show, and closing percentages. No one is able to get their cost per lead to $1, right? So you are going to reach a limit as to how high you can get your percentages or how low you can get your cost per lead. And from there, you want to incrementally work on scaling up your ad spend while maintaining all of these KPIs, right? So if you look at that, you have your overall numbers for hitting 100K a month. You have your marketing and sales KPIs for hitting 100,000 per month. And then the last thing that you need to track and make sure is sufficient is your retention, right? So if you look at retention, the number one metric that you want to focus on is called your churn percentage. So your churn percentage is the percentage of your student base that quits. So for example, let's say you have 100 students, right? If 10% of them quit, that's 10 people quitting every single month. The average churn percentage in our industry is about 5%. The best performing schools have a churn percentage of 2%, right? So imagine instead of 10 people quitting per month, you only have 2 people quitting. And that might not sound like a huge, difference when you only have 100 students. But think about it this way. Imagine you have 500 students and 10% quit every month. That means you need 50 students every single month just to maintain your active student count, which is absolutely insane. Whereas if you had a churn percentage of only 2%, that means at 500 students, you only need 10 students per month to maintain your active student count. So this is the number that you want to focus on as you're scaling up to make sure you're not losing too many students per month. Because one thing I see time and time again is martial arts school owners only focus on this number, which is generating as many new students as possible and not on closing the back door, not on offering a really good product and having great retention. And because of that, they don't grow. I see people who generate 20, 30, even 40 students per month consistently, but because their retention is not good and they're losing just as many students per month, their schools never grow year after year. So it's really important to make sure as you focus on improving your KPIs here, as you focus on better content to lower your cost per lead, as you focus on your lead follow-ups to increase your booking show percentages, as you focus on improving your trial classes to improve your closing rate, you need to make sure that you're also focusing on retention and closing the back door, because that's how you're going to grow a successful martial arts school. So takeaways from this video, things that you can go apply to your business immediately. The number one thing that you want to do is track all of your numbers, all of your, we call it KPIs, your key performance indicators. So more specifically, you want to track your cost per lead, leads, booking percentage, booked appointments, show percentage, shown appointments, closing percentage, new students, your CAC, your cost to acquire a student, how many students you're losing, lost students, your churn rate, your new MRR, meaning your new monthly recurring revenue, your lost monthly recurring revenue, your net monthly recurring revenue, and lastly, your active monthly recurring revenue. And you want to do this for every single month. When you track all of these metrics, right, it gives you a full picture of your marketing statistics, your sales statistics, and also the back end of your business, right? A lot of people just focus on this, right? All of their marketing stuff because they want to get new students and they love the vanity metrics, right? But if you don't focus on this, your business isn't going to grow. It's as simple as that, right? So it's just as important to focus on how many students you're losing, your churn rate, your new monthly recurring revenue, your lost monthly recurring revenue. And the most important metric of them all when growing your martial arts school is your net monthly recurring revenue, right? Your net monthly recurring revenue is, for example, if you get 10 students paying $200 per month, you gain $2K of MRR. And if you lose 5 students paying $200 per month, you lose $1K of MRR. So if we look at your net, 2 minus 1, simple math, that's $1K of net MRR. Now, this might not look like a big number, but you do this consistently over 12 months, and that's $12,000 of net monthly recurring revenue. Meaning if you're at $50,000 per month and you do this for a year straight, now you're at $62,000 per month, right? You do that consistently over about 8 years, and you can scale from 0 to $100,000 per month just by gaining a net surplus of 5 students per month, paying $200 per month. But why do most martial arts schools in our industry never hit $100,000 per month or even remotely close to it? It's because they're not tracking these numbers, and it's because they're not at any sort of net surplus every single month. And if they are for a couple months, they're not doing it consistently. What we like to aim for is you being at a net surplus of at least $2,000 per month, because you do net $2,000 per month over about 4.1 years, and you can go from 0 to $100,000 per month. And all you need to do is be at a net surplus of, again, 10 students, 2K per month. You add in an extra student, you can do it in exactly 4 years. So those are the KPIs to aim for. Overall KPIs, 100,000 per month, 500 students, $200 per month, 4 years, 11 net students per month. Factor in cancellations, you need 18 students. As far as marketing goes, track your ad spend, your cost per lead, your booking percentage, show percentage, closing percentage, your cost to acquire a customer. And then either number one, you want to make sure you increase your ad spend so you're spending enough money to generate those 18 students per month, Or number two, you want to work on improving your KPIs so that you can generate 18 students per month from the same amount of money you're putting into ads. And then number three, you want to focus on your retention. So track your churn rate. Make sure that your churn rate is, you want to get it to 2%. So it's really easy to scale up over time. And then lastly, just make sure you're tracking all of this in one place. Ideally a Google spreadsheet. And then month after month, you can track your statistics, see where is your biggest constraint in your business, what statistic is causing your business is stunting your business's growth. And from there, you can focus on solving it, improving them, and now you have a predictable way of hitting $100,000 per month.